Hi guys, and welcome to another session of Honest Talk about relationships, where you'll learn tips, tricks and strategies on how to navigate the complexities of dating and relationships. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also comment in the comments section. If you've got a story you want to share with viewers, you can contact me on my email address listed below. So let's get into it, guys. This is just before we start. I've got a rock breaker operating in the neighborhood. For those that are unfamiliar, it makes a great noise. It's a real blokey toy to use, and there's nothing nicer than seeing the sheer force of a volcanic rock being broken. The suburb I live in is has a lot of volcanic rock. It's excellent for drainage, but not so good when you want to dig out the basement to put in the garage. So do bear with it. If you hear it in the background, it's all good. I'm not in danger. So let's get into the red pill, guys, and why you need to take it. So nothing radical here. It's just giving you a critical way of thinking in relationships, and I've converted over to it. It's not revolutionary. It's quite normal if you want to progress and have healthy relationships. So let's talk about a little bit about history. Back in the 50s and 60s, a lot of women were second-class citizens. They were dependent on their husband for everything. They couldn't open a bank account. They couldn't buy a property. And certain educational opportunities or career opportunities were close to them. There was a glass ceiling on how far they could go. So hence the rise of the feminist movement, and they brought a lot of change, and women could become more independent, buy property, open a bank account, and there's educational opportunities for them. So that's all good. No arguing there. Equal footing, no issues. In terms of relationships, it's created greater complexity because it's become highly competitive now in terms of relationships. And with looking at getting into a relationship, you've got to look at things from the eyes of a red pill person and understand the dynamics of dating. So what the red pill basically says is you develop an awareness when dating and have critical and independent thinking of who you're trying to run with, and there's nothing wrong with that. So there's been a lot of groups that have formed over the years that have developed into certain categories. So the red pill, most people become red pilled. It's a great way of thinking and evaluating potential candidates who you want to run with. But where it gets negative is the black pill down to incel. And there's a lot of people out there who are quite normal sort of people you come across in society, and they're black pill orientated. And I'll go through each one of these. Very simple. There's been volumes and volumes of books written on all this. So if you want a greater explanation, you can just do a Google. So the black pill is adopting a pessimistic view that often leads to withdrawal from dating and relationships. So a lot of people date a lot and have no success or can't even find dates, and it leads to black pill thinking. And that's quite negative. And as you slide down the scale, it gets more radical. So the manosphere is engaging with a collection of websites and blogs promoting various perspectives on masculinity and relationships, and it can be quite negative if you go down that track. The second to last one is 𝗔𝗆, so men going their own way. This guy is understanding the movement where men choose to avoid relationships with women entirely, and again, not healthy. I think relationships are healthy, and you've got to do your best out there to get a woman, and women can help you along your journey. They can come up with some great ways of thinking, and they can be value added. If you get the right woman, it can be value added to you, no doubt about it. You've got to find that woman that you connect with, and it's becoming harder and harder. I totally understand that. And I totally understand a lot of men going their own way and avoiding relationships altogether. It can be problematic, but I can tell you that there are good women out there, and it's just a matter of finding them, and it's becoming more and more difficult. So the last one, guys, is incels, and that's involuntary celibate. So it's a community of men who struggle to form romantic or sexual relationships and often harbour resentment towards women, and this is the extreme. And there's been quite a lot of cases where there's been terrorism involved, where guys drive cars into groups of women, or go into a gym full of women and kill a lot of people. And this is totally unacceptable, and in no way should you connect with these people. And if you do, you need to seek help because it's not healthy for development. and you need to, if you feel bitter and resentment, guys, I know how people can go into this category, but believe me, there is a future for everybody down the track. It's just understanding where you're at in life and what you're seeking. So guys, as mentioned, women view guys as success objects, and men view women as beauty objects. So it's just embedded into our inner psyche, into our inner DNA, and it's not something that we get taught at university or high school. It's just inherently our bias when we think. So what you're going to do is understand your sexual market value in the marketplace, and also develop the red pill. So it gives you critical thinking to evaluate who you get into bed with. Because it can have massive consequences on both your financial situation and also your mental health. So if there's a guy who's about 4 out of 10 and he's a tech geek entrepreneur and he's got the potential to make hundreds of millions of dollars, he will attract a woman because he's considered a potential success object. But he's not able to reach his money tree or the pot of gold that is down the track for various reasons. His business may become a failure. I can assure you pretty accurately that his girlfriend or partner or wife at the time will move on and make a branch over to the next person. So, and also, even if you do become wealthy, it's very likely that if you're not red-pilled, you'll get taken for a joyride. And the classic example is the Apple co-founder, Wozniak. Fantastic guy, but super geeky. Before he made mega bucks, he was had a very low sexual market value, but fantastic brain when it came to technology, of course. And when Apple turned the corner and it became very successful, he had a very short-term marriage with a lady who saw the dollar signs on the horizon, and he had a very brief relationship with that lady until she divorced him, and she got a very handsome payout and was basically set for life. So you've got to have that in the back of your mind, guys, when looking at running with a lady, what their true objectives are. Are they going to be around for the bad times? So that's basically it, guys. It's very simple. I could elaborate in greater detail on each of the categories again, but I'd strongly inform you not to go into the black pool, manosphere, the MGTOW, or the incel categories of thinking, because it can be very negative and detrimental to your development. Red pill, absolutely fine. It's just giving you a social awareness and critical thinking of relationships, what women bring to the table and what are they really into, what's their true agenda. So that's it for today, guys. Very short and simple, just giving you a brief overview of where we're at in relationships and the different types of thinking that a lot of men are going into these days. The dating game has changed quite significantly, highly competitive now. And there's a lot of guys being left out and feeling bitter. But believe me, there are good women out there who can add value to you, and it's not all negative. So that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. Until next time, take care.